What is going on YouTube? Portal Cards here, and today we have another part to our series of Mom Card Mondays. We're starting out this one with basketball. It's all going to be from the early 90s, and I did a lot of the dirty work already of removing them from the uh, pages. So I got a whole stack of pages here. I mean, you can see how cruddy these are. Um, One thing I want to point out is I did notice a lot of the Ultra Pro Platinum sleeves seem to hold up a lot better than the rest as far as the cards not sticking inside. But you can see how mishandled this collection had gotten over the years, just being thrown around in boxes between storage and sitting in the closet. But they were in pretty rough shape when I got them, so trying to go through and get what I can cleaned up and sort through everything that way, um, because I would really like to see this collection preserved and cleaned up well. So starting this off, we have 92 classic draft picks, and the cards all seem in great condition. Um, this one here does have slight yellowing on the corner, and that's about it. Um, but for these, it's an Upper Deck product, I believe. No, this is just the 92 Classic. The Upper Deck is a different set. Um, so for these, we have Corey Williams, Brent Price, Billy Law, Sam Mack, Ed Book, Dave Johnson, Byron Houston, Oliver Miller, Jim McCoy, David Booth, Ron Popeye Jones, Ron Ellis, and Albert Rogers. So, really, no big names out of that. Um, like I said before, I do believe someone got to the collection before it was handed to me and went through what was of value. Um, and then here, this is our Upper Deck. It is from 93. Uh, and then once again, there's a few cards, like this one here. You can tell right off the bat on the front of it that the edges are a little yellow. But overall, these stayed in pretty decent shape for being in those pages for how many years. We got a Clarence Weatherspoon, LaFonso Ellis, Todd Day, Dan Medgeril, Kevin Johnson, Derek Coleman, Spud Webb, Hershey Hawkins, Ricky Pierce, David Robinson, Isaiah Thomas, Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Hardaway, Ron Harper, and Danny Manning. So there was a couple big names out of these. A few things is you have your Future Force here for your rookies, and I would have to say Clarence Weatherspoon was the top rookie out of these. We did have 3 here. It doesn't have much for stats on the back, but yeah. Clarence Weatherspoon was the rookie for can't think of the name right now. Charles Barkley. Whenever he was on his way out, Clarence Weatherspoon pretty much fell right in suit with how Charles Barkley was playing. Derek Coleman, that's another good name there. Spud Webb, David Robinson, pretty good one there. Isaiah Thomas, Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Hardaway, and Danny Manning were all pretty good ball players in the day. And then moving on, we have our wild card first edition. These are from 91, 92, or 92, 93. No, it is 91, 92 for these. But some of these, you can see a little gap there. Like this one here, nice little bow to it. But it's a Daryl Dawkins, so I'm going to see what I can't do, putting it in a top loader and see if that doesn't help straighten it out. Or maybe once I put it into the page sleeves, it may have some pressure inside of the binder to kind of straighten everything out. But starting this off, we have Abdul Shamed Dean, Linton Towns, Greg Anthony, Chris Kirchini, Elliot Perry, Mark McCon, George Ackles, Andy Fields, James Bullock, Carl Thomas, Doug Overton, Brian Shorter, Chad Gallagher, Randy Brown, Terrell Brandon, Marty Embry, Jimmy Oliver, Perry Carter, Danny Rains, Jay Murphy, Adrian Dantley, Bill Wennington, Terry Dozier, so that's a good name there, Pete Myers, Daryl Dawkins, Jay Vincent, Douglas Lee, Tim Kempton, Earl Cureton, Terrence Stanbury, Hayward Workman, Elwayne Campbell, Chris Gatling, Marty Conlon, Ian Lockhart, Myron Brown, Terry Tyler, Kevin McGee, Theron Mays, and Perry McDonald. So, not any crazy rookies in this. This was a collegiate product, if you're not familiar with it. So, no one in their NBA unis yet. I would have to say Daryl Dawkins and Terry Dozier were the top two out of this. Unfortunately, Daryl Dawkins does have a slight bow. I mean, nothing close to what I've seen come out of 2020 products with the chrome finish on them. But yeah, I mean, these cards are still pretty great condition for being in those page sleeves I showed you. For how many years? What, they would have been in there since they were first opened. And I mean, what's that, 30 years sitting inside of those sleeves almost? So I would have to say they're in great quality. And then here, if I hold them loosely, you can see, like this first one, I know it has some bow to it as well, but it's a decent card, so I wanted to try and get that straightened out as well. And the two right behind that have the slight bow on the bottom. Altogether, I mean, edges, the coloring is pretty good. We got one right here, which is a checklist that has a little bit of yellowing on the edge, so I'm not too worried about that. But let's get right into this. We have Fleer 92, 93, so it's going to be a pretty good lineup. We have Charles Barkley to start. That's why I want to get this Bode card cleaned up. Dennis Rodman right behind that. John Stockton, and those two are going to be league leaders. Isaiah Thomas, Chris Mullin, And then going on to league leaders for Chris Mullin. And then this was a pretty cool insert, I thought, of NBA Schoolyard stars, Dennis Rodman. When I was first flipping through these, getting them out of the sleeves, I was starting to think that the centering of the card was way off, but realized it was just the insert style. But pretty cool card there. Karl Malone, Detlef Schrempf, and then one thing I did notice, I'm not sure if you guys have started to notice this at all or knew about it already, but the Celtics in 92-93, their first names are in green, and everyone else's, both first and last name, are in white. So we got Reggie Lewis here, Rick Fox, John Bagley, and then moving on, we got Buck Williams, Kevin Johnson insert. Pretty cool there. It's got that nice landscape there, the desert, and almost has a track and field kind of track look to it. A few checklist cards. Jeff Malone, the coach, Jerry Sloan, Jay Humphries, David Bennett, Larry Kristolitz, Nate McKillum, Gary Payton, Ricky Pierce. Should put him up towards the front as well. Some overall great condition of these cards, though. You can see there a couple of them have water spots on the side, but for as long as they were in those sleeves, I think they did very well. And those Ultra Pro Platinums really seemed to help out a lot. There were a couple just base regular Ultra Pros and a couple off brands, and I did notice the surface of some of them were sticking, like even the back. So I kind of had to go in there with a plastic tool and make sure I wasn't touching the card and just pull out on that plastic on the pages. And even with that, I was worried about scratching one of the cards, so I did go through and I had a couple like the oddball cards laying around, like these here, just the random ones you get in packs, and I took one of those down through there, being it was going to be the same size as a card, and it slides straight down in there, and then you can go straight down the back and nothing will scrape, no sharp edges. So if you do have any older cards, give that trick a try, and just grab one of them kid reporters you have laying around that you could be using for stands as well. Great double use there, but no big names here. A few coaches. But like I said before, these have been gone through before. A lot of the pages were missing. I went through and did a lot of the rough work. Like, look how great condition these are. The centering is off on this, but the card is in perfect, like great condition. So can't complain there. Saves me a lot of work of getting them cleaned up. But these here, I want to point this out after I go through the rest here. You do get a couple here where the top left corner is a little dinged up, but nothing too bad. You notice the coloring is off on a couple of them, like almost like it was sun faded. Like, look at the shading just between three cards next to each other there with that gold border. Um, some of them are pretty bright, some of them are a little dulled out. But yeah, with these here, that's what I was getting at, is look at the finish of these right next to each other. How bright the colors are on one. Um, Not sure if they did like an update with these to where they retouched some stuff, or if these were like UV damage. But yeah, you can clearly tell the color difference on these. Um, so that's as much as I have for loose cards that are in decent condition. Um, there were a couple whenever I was pulling them from the pages that were going to be hard to save. Um, I mean, you can see them there. They are twisted. They're not just bowed in one direction. They actually have a twist to them as well. So I don't know. I will be able to get these straight, being they have a twist to them. Usually with a bow, you can take care of that, but the twisting is difficult. This is one I wanted to save. It's David Robinson, NBA award winner. Um, right on the back here, it does have a slight stain. Not sure. It's pink, just a darker pink. So not sure if it was a water damage or if it was just a printing issue. I did notice, oh, right on the top of that card, it's dinged right up here. So I don't think I'll be able to save that one. Uh, and then getting into these, that one just has the usual bow. And then these ones here were all pretty much in the top row of the 9-card page sleeve. So they all got that bow to them of where something was sitting on top of those pages and just putting pressure right across here. Um, so, I mean, no big names in here. I would have to say Vlad is going to be our biggest name out of those. So, not too hurt that those are bowed up. And then a couple coaches here, really not too worried about them. But I will still get all these bowed ones in a page and try and get some weight onto them. Um, there were a few. I do believe they would be in this stack. And look at the color difference just in that white border. Not sure if you can tell with the lighting. But this front one is a lot darker than the upper deck. But some more here with that bow right in the same spot because they were in the top row of the pages. But I did have to take a couple out, and they had like just some surface damage on them from the cheaper pages. And there was this one page of uh, pretty much perforated cards that you would tear out yourself. I thought this was really cool. It's from 93 Skybox. So we have Jeff Malone, Daniel Majiro, James Worthy, Reginald Miller, Patrick Ewing, Tim Hardaway, Joe Dumars, Xavier McDaniel, and David Robinson. So some pretty good players on there. Seems like every other one on there is a good player. I would have to say David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Tim Hardaway, and James Worthy are the top players off of that. So I do want to find a good page to put this in, and try and get this little bow out of the corner here. Other than that, I mean, this thing is in pretty great condition for not being sleeved up or in any kind of protective cover, just laying in the box with the rest of the pages. But let's see here. Like this page here, compared to the Ultra Pro, it does not have any branding on here other than this little figure. Not sure if you guys know what that is. It appears to say treat on it. But not familiar with them at all. That was one of the ones I had issues with. And then there was another one that got folded under. I may have already just tossed it straight in the can. Yeah. But some of them were way beyond saving. Don't want to hold you guys up too much longer. That's pretty much what I have for basketball out of her collection. So I will continue to try and straighten some cards out, get everything in top loaders, or not top loaders, the page sleeves. But yeah, that's it for basketball. And I do want to give you guys a quick preview on the next video of the basic cards that we're going to have throughout the series. I got a whole lineup of them here, and there is way more than sports. So if you're just a card collector in general, not any specific sports or types of cards, if you just like the different types of cards, this is going to be the series for you, because we have so many different types of cards that we've collected over the years, and she's got some that I didn't even know she had, which are really awesome cards. And I'm going to save that for another part in the series. Thank you all for watching. If you have any recommendations on preserving any of these cards, please do let me know down in the comments any tips or tricks on preserving any of this. Thank you all for watching, and you take care.